Good evening, people. It's the Bean here again. And I'm here continuing my videos on us working on our way of freeing our mind from common rule and being completely free of any restrainment that would hold us where we have to abide by rules that will apply to us in life and that we can think on our own. Yes, people, it's called the free thinker. All right. I'm going to say the word common sense, right? Or, yeah, common sense or having sense. Okay. I want you to understand something. Right. I think that we should have a more clear mind about how we think, you know what I'm saying, in the sense of, just thinking about us in the sense of thinking about you. Okay. And a lot of times when you go to do things, right, you try to do it to your best ability, but there's a lot of us that follow common rule that was taught to us. Common rule that was taught to us. Yes, once again, the Bean is talking about it. And yes, training day. Training day doesn't necessarily mean a program or institution where you go off for 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, and you separated from family to participate in a group. No, training day is also in your household, from where you was raised. We all been schooled that way. And I believe, like I said in most of my videos, that it's something that we were told to go by because that was going to help our way of living and also give us common knowledge about how we should live. And all of it was falsified. It's not true. Okay, so I'm going to get back to the word common sense. Common sense comes to play when a person can think, right, about something while they're doing it, right, or while they're participating in something, or just being somewhere, and it comes to mind to, it's almost like understanding something without having to read about it, you know what I'm saying? Or having to think of something in reference to what you're doing that will better your situation. Excuse me. Got the Bev here. Common sense we all have, right? And common sense come to mind while we're thinking. And people, I want you to understand this, right? We don't necessarily have to be in a solitude place, like a place away from everything where there's nobody there but us to think. You could think any way you want. You could think in the bathroom. You could think in the shower, on the toilet. You could think while you're cooking. You could think anywhere you want, anywhere. Okay? But the thing is that when you're thinking and when you have that moment to collect your thoughts on something, there's nothing in front of you like you remember, you're doing this for yourself. So there's nothing in front of you to go by like a paperback magazine. I should hope you don't attempt to do that, especially at your, older stage in life. You know what I'm saying? Your mature part of your life. There's got to be some point that you trust yourself to think for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Without having to read or listen to someone. Not me. Remember, I'm in the same boat as all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning this as I go along. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just speaking out loud, which a lot of people are not doing. and you you know you're in a place where a lot of times when you're taking care of stuff or doing stuff, things come to mind, and that's your way of thinking when it comes to knowing something, and that falls in the same relations as common sense. Having common sense, wow, you're gonna go far. You're gonna go to a lot of places. Now, I'm not talking about you're gonna be in a higher society, or you're gonna be able to leave here and go to Tibet or Hawaii. No, no, no. What I'm saying is, you just came over a big mountain. You know what I'm saying? That was blocking you from understanding and trusting in yourself. That when you think, right, you believe in what you're thinking, and when you go to do things, your mind kind of sends you a message, and poof, you start to see something for what it is, and then you do it better than what you normally supposed to have done because you thought about it, and then something came to mind to make the situation become easier for you to think about. It sounds crazy. I mean, when I talk like this, you have to understand that this is a way that you have to trust yourself, that the communication that you're establishing with yourself, yes, it's unlimited. Like, I mean, it's like you're being told something, but it's not coming from somebody. It's coming from you. You know, as time passes and you decide to give yourself that moment to clear your mind and kind of listen to yourself, I'm telling you, I put everything on it. I'm telling you, you're going to be in a place just like I am right now, because it's called stress-free. Stress-free because when you start to understand what the realities are, you know, you're going to see that everything that's been put forth in front of you is not realistic. You know what I'm saying? But it causes you to grasp on or look at or go to because you were taught to do that. Like, you can't turn away from it. So you end up becoming a part of it or being involved in it. You know what I'm saying? We were trained like that. All I'm saying is that give yourself that moment to think away from that and see where it takes you. I'm telling you, it's gonna really take the tension away. You're gonna feel relieved, and a lot of things that you're doing, you're gonna realize they're not so important that the way they taught you it that it's supposed to be. Nah, it's not that important. It's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? Now back to the word common sense. Common sense form in relations to free thinker, because when it comes to mind and you go to do something, you do it better than you normally supposed to do it. And yes, it's coming from you. It's coming from your your senses and your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So when you look and see how you make a better judgment for yourself, you have to say to yourself, where did I get that from? Like, how did I know how to do that the way I did it? And you're gonna realize there was no book that you read, there was no teacher in front of you, and you didn't have the TV on. You didn't stop at no clinic, and you didn't see no psychic. It came from you. Okay, so when you see these things, you have to go even further, not further in your mind, but you have to go further into allowing your thoughts give you some type of understanding for you to do. No, not a command. Let's not lose it. Come on, don't talk like you ain't got now you're talking like you ain't got no common sense. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying to you is that as it comes to mind and you think it out and then you start to do, let yourself have an understanding of how it's being presented to you. Because once again, I'm going to tell you, the mind protects the body. Yes, the brain is one thing, but the mind and your thoughts do protect your body. And how it protects your body? Yes, there's a lot of information that's being distributed to you, but it's a matter of you grasping at it and you going by what's being said to you through thought. You know what I'm saying? It's like you turn around and you see a 50-pound box, right? And you looking at that box and yeah, that box is yours. And you trying to figure out how are you going to get that box from one place, from where is that now to a place it needs to be that keeps you in the right frame of mind of saying, okay, I put that away. How you gonna pick it up? How you gonna pick it up? How you gonna deal with it? How you gonna put it where you need it, where you need it to be, in a sense of that makes you feel comfortable. Think about that. Think about what I just said on something simple like that. Yes, you're gonna turn around and you're gonna start thinking. You're gonna start going to think about it. And when you start thinking about it, I want you to understand your reaction towards that situation is going to tell you how you thinking. Now, how can I say that the way I just put that forth in front of you? What I'm saying is, when you look at that box, you know it's too heavy, right? So most people would say, depending on the build of the person or the wit or the courage and all the strength this person have, some might say the person is just going to pick it up and put it where it's at. But then there's others that might turn around and say, I'm not picking that up. That's too heavy. So what most might turn around and do is, what's in the box? Split it open and boom, take piece by piece, which makes it even lighter, and just place whatever was inside the box in various places in the story, right? And then there's others that will turn around and probably get a what they call it, I think it's not a jack, but something similar to a flatbed, you know, something that you put it onto and then you roll it where it need to be. So look how I just said those, look how I said those, look how I said what I said to you in the sense of dealing with that situation on hand. I said a bunch of things, but different than one from another. And your thoughts gave you that moment to think exactly how you're going to deal with it. So when you turn around and you see how you dealt with it, just let that breathe for a minute and see, did you make the right decision on how you was going to deal with that box, right? When you turn around and see the decision, the decision you made, right? Now you're going to get an understanding of how you thinking, okay? Because on a serious note, it's like to not think it out and not say to yourself, how am I going to do this, and just do it. You know what I'm saying? That's like saying, wow, I'm not going to think about this. I'm going to leave it right there where it's at, or I'm just going to, do away with it so I don't have to bother with it later. So that's another situation where you have to say to yourself, wow, why did I go to that? Why did I choose to go in that direction on dealing with it? You know what I'm saying? It's you have to understand, strengthening your mind is also thinking about how you should do things for yourself. And if you're not using your mind to do that, that's a problem, because that means you choose not to think at all. And, that kind of hurts, because that means that you're going to be in a place where you're going to go by everything that's being told you. Well, we back to square one again. And you refusing to not think of what you need to do. So look how I said all of that. And look how I went into something and came out of it where you're not thinking at all. You're just going to do whatever it is just to get it out the way. You have to understand, if you choose to do that, then that's a serious situation, because that means you are a person that is willing to follow whatever it is, and you're not even going to second guess it. You're just going to follow along with whatever it is. And that's bad, because that's showing that your sense of direction is completely like gone. Like, yo, you just choosing not to do it. And whatever lies ahead, if it steers me in the wrong place, you willing to deal with it and just go down whatever's gonna happen. This is why I told you these videos is to give you an understanding and just bring forth to you about how you should be addressing things and not get lazy about it. Like, really give the time of day to yourself to like clear your mind and let things come forth to you, and just see where it takes you, and if it's going to be a better situation for you on how you deal with things and how you deal with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that falls in relation to common sense, because when you go to think about something and then for that moment you don't react to it and just jump into what you're going to do, you're using your head. You taking the time out to have common sense towards the fact you want to make a better judgment call on what you have to do. So that doesn't come from no book. That comes from you. That's mind over matter. Like, yo, you seriously using your thoughts to be your solution solver. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're actually thinking out what's necessary for you to deal with certain things on your own. You ain't gonna buy no magazine. You ain't gonna buy no professor. You ain't gonna buy no social media. You ain't gonna buy no no type of group that give you psychological way of thinking and how you supposed to distribute yourself from some doctor or somebody. No, you ain't gonna buy none of that stuff. You went by what came to mind. And that's the important thing about being a free thinker, because when you do that, that means you thought out your situation. You thought it out. And then your answer from your thoughts gave you common sense on how to do. Okay? So I'm trying my best to do these breakdowns with you, just to, keep going in areas where I'm trying to get you to understand how you need to be in a place where you're freely thinking out your situations, how you're supposed to be, and how things were and how things are today, so you can have a better understanding of what's going on. Because when you start to realize what's going on, that's a wake-up call. That's a light bulb on top of your head. And it's lit, because it's actually alerting you to the fact, yeah, there's things going on here. There's things that's happening right now. And at times when you start to see it, you need to have an answer for it. Not somebody tell you an answer. You need to come up with an answer how you seeing it from yourself, so you can make that judgment call. And also you can have that common sense to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So once again, I'm going to stop this video again. The word is common sense, okay? And common sense is not something where somebody told you about it or, you read about it. Common sense is when you decide to listen to yourself when you're trying to do something or deal with something, and the thought comes to mind on how you need to react to it, okay? So kind of breathe this video in the way I seem to have gave it to you. Yeah, I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm going hard like that, okay? So like I said, I'm going to end this video on this note, and the word is called common sense. And I want you to understand, your thoughts give you common sense, okay? Your thoughts. So breathe this video in. You know what I'm saying? Take this video in and relax yourself while you're listening to it and see where it takes you as I'm telling you how you should do it. You know what I'm saying? Catch me on the next video, and the bean is out, and you guys have a nice evening. Peace.